Somebody saying, hey, I made an Instagram to find you. I saw you at... He just kept watching me. So I don't know whether he's my stalker, but I did get a stalker. Guess what I got? My uni results. I was slightly upset when I opened them, I'm not gonna lie. When you're 20, like, how the hell do you meet people? It sounds really rogue. It does. I know a lot of my friendships in the past have been very toxic with like lots of bitching. Oh my god, it makes me feel sick thinking of that. But I find girls scarier. But then I find everyone scary. I need to make friends though. I do. I'm starting a revolution. Everybody make friends with somebody on the street. And something exciting to share. I'm booked into see. This is a conversation with Erin, with me, Erin. I hope you're all well and excited for today's episode. This is our little safe space to have a bit of a chat, have a bit of a conversation. You can be whoever you want to be, and I'll be a chaotic mess as always. And yeah, let's get on with the episode. Hello, my gorgeous, gorgeous people. I was going to say girls then, but I'm like, we're not going to exclude the guys and the they, thems like that. Not at all. We're an inclusive space on the internet. I'm actually going to be looking at my phone throughout this manifesting this podcast, which if you're on Spotify, you won't be able to see, whereas you might be seeing me glance down. I script out my notes app, and I used to look at it on my laptop, but my eyesight is so terrible. My laptop is literally right in front of me. I cannot read it. So we're going to have to use this. So I thought we could start today. You might hear some banging stuff. It's a full house. Everyone's here today. My mum, my dad and my dog and my cat. It's literally a full house, which never happens. So there might be some background noise. And if there is, I'm sorry. But I thought I'd share what I've been up to. Holiday. I've been on holiday. Wow. I got home from holiday nearly a week ago now. That's heartbreaking. But my God, did the holiday kill me. I've only about recovered just now. So yeah, and I got home on Sunday and it is Thursday. I'm a shell of a human being. I was so exhausted, so fatigued, like the heat. It was 40 degrees. I didn't sign up to 40 degree heat. Like, I didn't sign up to Europe having a heat wave when I went away. But apparently it's even hotter this week. So I must thank my lucky stars I went when I did, because I would have been a puddle on the floor. I was already nearly there. Oh my God. That takes me on to, you know, the aging filter on TikTok. I look like I've melted. I look like someone's made a waxwork of me and put me in like the sun. I look like I've melted on it. Hurts my heart, because if that is actually what I look like, which I think it might be, slightly sad. Like, some people are like, oh my God, I look like my nan. No, I look like I'm melted. I don't look as beautiful as my nans. I just look like a melted grey version of myself. That means that SPF is going to be laid on, skincare laid on, vitamins popped, Botox injected. I am not letting myself become that. Like, I'm all for aging gracefully, but that isn't graceful. What that aging is for me is like, I look like I've been through some stuff. And I know I've already been through some stuff, but I don't want to go through any more to get like that. Thank you. Thank you. Please, universe, do not allow me to age in such a way. But anyway, back to holiday. Yes, I was sunburned. I was wearing Fat to 50, mind you. But yeah, I was sunburned. I'm fair. However, I've got like a nice colour now, and considering I was only out there for a few days, but it would be nice to come home to sunshine to carry on continuing the colour. I do tan now, but I just think we were out in the sun like 12 hours a day, like walking, which I don't think helped. So yeah, I did really burn. Well, not really burn, I burnt a little bit. But it's turned into a beautiful colour now, but it was painful. Like, oh, there's nothing worse than sunburn. It's that thing of, am I just tanned or am I burnt? And then you put the cream on and you're like, that's burnt. But I'm trying to keep on top of my moisturising and my scrubbing and stuff to try and keep my tan for as long as I can. My tan for as long as I can. Oh my god, stop. Give me a bar. And then like I rap on top of it. I don't know. I have already filmed a podcast. I'm a little bit delirious. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it was such great vibes. I'd say my one complaint was the fact that we didn't have a pool in our hotel or like a local beach. We had to get a boat to the beach, which when it was as hot as it was, is just like, that was just hell. And I'm not... Right, so my issue is with boats. I don't get seasick, but I convince myself I'm going to get seasick because I've got emetophobia, which then makes me feel sick. So I inherently, if I was mentally well, would not get seasick, but because of my emetophobia, I do then feel nauseous on a boat. So getting an hour boat ride there and back was... I was not thriving. Apparently Kira said I hid it well. However, she could not talk to me for the whole 50 minutes because I was in my zone of breathing. On the boat, there was one trip we went on, there was an American accent and my ears peaked. Like, The American on this boat, he was very loud and he was talking about solo travel, and I was like, I'm going to listen into this conversation because it's going to distract me from trying to think that I don't feel sick. And he was with a European lady. I'm not sure where her accent was from. She was also a solo traveller, and they were chatting, and it sounded like they had met at the hostel and were on a date day to the beach. That's what it sounded like. And I was listening in on their conversation like, oh my god, this is the most exciting thing ever. Yeah, so if you're on a boat to Praia Beach from Thessaloniki on the 14th of July, let me know how your little dating situation went. And I was just obsessed. Like, I was listening and they were talking about hostels and solo travelling and seeing the world, and like the little, like, they were sharing snippets of each other's lives, like getting to know each other, and it literally sparked something inside me of like, that's gonna be my life. I'm gonna solo travel. They're both I think they'd met at the hostel or something, I don't know, but it was just so nice to hear. Like, I found it so exciting. I was like, oh my god, I need this to be my life. Like, I want to meet somebody and just run to the beach with them and like then never see them again. Like, I want like I just love it. Like, the idea of just meeting somebody and you can be whoever you want to be. And I just find that so exciting, and the prospect of meeting so many different people so exciting. And actually the whole travel experience was quite seamless. There was a couple of delays, but all in all, it wasn't horrendous. I found it quite easy, and I'm so excited to go on a solo trip. Like, the minute I can afford a holiday for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna go. Obviously, I'm still on my biologic injectable medication, so for me to go on like a longer travel trip, it would be difficult. So I'll have to... Oh my god, I keep yawning, I'm so sorry. I'd probably have to wait until I come off of that, and if I can't come off of that, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Yeah, it was really safe. Like, I was surprised at how safe I felt. I think I felt safer there than I do in this country. There was only one occasion where I felt a little bit unsafe, and that was at a beach, because I'd got a DM. So we went to this beach twice. So the first time we went to this beach, I got a DM that evening from somebody saying, hey, I made an Instagram to find you. I saw you at Praia, however you say it, Praia. And obviously I didn't respond to that. And we went back to this beach a couple of days later, and this guy, like, he was on a bed in front of us a couple of days prior. And then we went back to the same bar because it was just easier, got a bed, and then all of a sudden, like, we were there 20 minutes and he come back and then got a bed in front of us. And me and Kira looked at each other like, that's a bit weird, but I didn't think much of it. And then I saw him like really looking at me, and I was like, he probably just thinks like I recognise her, but where from? Like, I think he was Greek, and obviously we're English. She's probably like, she obviously isn't from here. Like, where? I don't know where I recognise her from. But then it got weirder. So we went in the sea like a few times, and every time I walked past him, I felt like he'd turn his body to watch me. And then there was one time where he got up his phone and his phone followed me, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally gonna end up on like, I don't even know, like getting shared around friends. And I got in my head, I'm like, oh my god, he probably thinks like, why is she wearing that bikini, like she doesn't have the body for it, whatever. But then he like kept like giving me this weird eye, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I walked past him like again to go down to the beach with Kira this time, and he was like, she walked in front of me, and then he got his phone, filmed me again, and was like, oh, that one. And I turned around to look at him, and then he like quickly looked away, and I'm like, weird. I'm like, oh, maybe I just misheard him. So I went down in the water, and I was like, right. I said to Kira, I'm like, right, tell me if I'm being very self-obsessed, but that guy's giving me weird vibes. She's like, no, he's watching you. He's a freak. She's like, I've already given him evils. I'm like, right, okay, it's not just me. And honestly, he just kept watching me. So I don't know whether he's my stalker, but I did get a stalker. However, we weren't staying there, so I didn't really care. Like, if anything, I just tried to like laugh it off because it's just a bit weird and funny, like makes for a good story. But apart from that, like, we didn't really get catcalled. I didn't feel unsafe once, really. Yeah, it felt really safe. So yeah, it was a great experience and something exciting to share. I'm booked in to see the Barbie movie. When I'm booked in on Tuesday, me and Kira are going to go see it. I'm so excited. So does it come out today in the US? I think it comes out today when I'm filming this, because TikToks are already coming out of people like, I was not prepared for that. Like, I didn't expect to cry at the Barbie movie, or like my inner child is healed. Now, I was never really a Barbie girl. I was a Littlest Pet Shop girl. I was a dolly girl, an animal girl, a teddy girl. I wasn't really a Barbie girl. But something about it is speaking to my inner child. I cannot tell you. I'm so excited. I think it's the very, very, everything's very pink. It's just so exciting. I even got my nails painted pink. I've never had hot pink on my nails. I've got like this bright pink on my nails. Like, it's obnoxious, but I love it for just to heal, to aid the healing of my inner child when I go and see this movie. I'm so excited, and I think because I've heard really good things, it's just, like, I love Greta Gerwig as a director. I love Lady Bird. I love Little Women. So I'm expecting to fall in love with this movie too. I don't really know what to expect in terms of the direction where the movie's going to take, but that almost makes it more exciting because I don't know what to expect at all. I don't know whether it's going to be more comedy or very like feminist with like comedy with very serious undertones. I don't know, but I'm super excited, and I think Ryan Gosling is making an amazing Ken. Obviously I haven't seen the movie, but like in the PR and stuff, he's doing an incredible job. Like, when I first heard he was Ken, I was like, what? I was like, that does not make sense to me. Like, I just couldn't picture it. But now, like, I've seen, I think he's doing an incredible job. I think he doesn't take himself too seriously, and I think that's really important because Ken is clearly in the movie a bit brain dead, and he kind of plays the dumb blonde that a lot of women have played in the past in movies. And I love that he's really leaning into that, and he doesn't mind being the dumb blonde side character to Margot Robbie. I just think it's absolutely iconic. I think he's doing the advertising so well. And yeah, I'm so excited for it. The outfits, the premieres and all the outfits we're getting from everyone. Everyone's absolutely serving. Even like obviously Margot Robbie is, but even like people that are just going to the premiere because they've been invited are serving. I'm so obsessed. I think, yeah, absolutely iconic. I just love how it's really taken over everything. Like, it's so unnecessary but so incredible. Not really relating, but I really want to do a hereditary test. So I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I have this I don't think it's that weird actually. I have this fascination of where my family come from, and my family, I think it comes from being quite close to my grandparents, but them passing away when I was quite young. So yeah, I have this fascination to know where I'm from, know where my family's from, know like my ancestry. But oh my god, they're expensive. It's going to cost me like £100. But also I think certain members of my family, like my immediate family, it's like my grandparents, two of my grandparents don't really know their ancestry because of different reasons. It is something that I'm going to look into, but it's probably something that will have to wait. But yeah, if I do it, I will definitely keep you updated because I find it fascinating. Because when I was away, I got told, and I'm holding on to this forever. So this guy pulled me and Kira aside and was like, oh, where are you from? And we're like, oh, like the UK. And then he looked at me and said, no, but where are you from? I'm like, the UK. And he's like, oh, you look like Spanish, like it's like French, like Italian, like you look more than UK. And I'm like, I'll take that. I look exotic. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Like, I look exotic. Like, I thought I was as basic bitch white girl as they come. And I think people are going to see this and be like, yes, you are. Like, if I end up clipping this for like TikTok or Instagram, everyone's going to be like, shut up, white girl. My mum's a quarter Italian, so I think I'm only like an eighth Italian. But there's Italian in there some way. Like, my great grandma, she was like 100% Italian. And we don't really know much about my nan's father. But I may be a quarter Italian. I don't know. There's a lot of Italian in my blood. Let's just say that. But I can't even speak. Honestly, my family is from everywhere. Like, nowhere like too exotic, I don't think, but like everywhere. But also, I don't really have a clue. It's just what my dad's told me, and my dad, the story changes every time he speaks. So, but yeah, I'll take that. You look Italian. Thank you. Italian and French women and Spanish women, Italian, French and Spanish women are beautiful. So I'll take that, as are English women. But add a bit of spice into my bloodstream. That's fine. And I'm really like thinking seriously about getting my health back. Like, I still haven't got my periods back. I think I need to really look into how I can start looking after my PCOS. I think I got quite caught up as I started that with my Crohn's because I went into a flare. So I think I'm very like much in the minute thinking about, right, let's try and see how we can start healing my PCOS. It's just so difficult because it's so individual for everyone, and it's so hard to get support without being pumped full of chemicals, and I don't see how that's gonna help. Maybe that sounds a bit hippie to say, but I don't see how me getting pumped full of chemicals is going to be any better than me not having a period. Obviously, I know not having a period is good. No, I know not having a period is bad, but I also don't think being pumped full of man-made chemicals is any better. So, I don't know. It is something that I'm seriously considering. I know, is it Hersoul? The brand? Freesoul. Hersoul. Freesoul. What is it? Is it Freesoul? Let me have a look. Her Freesoul. There we go. Their supplements and stuff are meant to be incredible. So I think I might buy myself some of them and see how I go. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on that too. Because I think once I do get my period back, because I'm going to get it back, I will share with you what I do and how I look after it. But I don't think talking about it in like a full episode on its own when I have no advice to give you is really beneficial to anybody. Guess what I got? My uni results. So I got them yesterday, and this is like my whole end of year result. I was slightly upset when I opened them, I'm not gonna lie. And before I tell you them, I want to say that everybody is individual. Whether you get a first, a 2-2, a 2-1, as long as you've tried and you have a degree. So I got a 2-1, but I was literally 2.4% off of getting a first. I was absolutely heartbroken. I think if it was like a 65%, I'd be so much more okay about it, but I was so close but so far to getting a first. I was like a bit disappointed, but then when I thought about it, I'm like, you've got a really good 2-1. I've been through, I've had 3 of the worst years of my life, and I've managed to come out of uni with that. Like, I should be so bloody proud. Like, I've had it rough, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's with an eating disorder, a flaring chronic illness, like severe anxiety, depression. I should be really proud. Like, I worked really hard, and do you know what? Some people working really hard may be a first, but I know that I did my absolute best with what I was given, and I can take that. I'm proud of myself, and it's okay to say that. I struggle to say that I'm proud of myself, actually, but I'm proud, and there's nothing wrong with that. Moving on from this, let's talk about the topic of today, which is friendships in your 20s. Oh, it's such a topic, isn't it? I bury my head in the sand when it comes to friendships. I really struggle with friendships. Like, my teen and childhood friendships were quite difficult. So now as an adult, I think I've got a really, like, not even a can't be asked attitude, like a self-defense, protecting myself attitude when it comes to making friends. And I think that, just paired with general making friends in your 20s, don't bode well in terms of having a good social life. So obviously I've got Kira. She's like one of my favourite people in the world. She's amazing. She's my best friend. We've been friends like for 6 years now. Sorry, let me just mute this. This girl keeps messaging. I might have to block her. She keeps sending me the link to her stream, and she's in her underwear on a profile photo, so I don't think I want to click that link, thank you. Anyway, so I would say I have 3 friends. My mum, my dad, and Kira. This is where it's difficult, because I'm saying that and I'm like, yeah, but you've got this person, this person, this person. I have loads of people in my life that I care about and I love, but I'm not sure if I don't know if I'd feel like I'd be able to pick up the phone to them in an emergency. Whereas those 3 people, I know I can pick up the phone to an emergency. Now, obviously, like, you've got my siblings and stuff like that, but then it gets difficult because it's like, that's family and it's all a bit weird. Even though they are my friends, but they're also, yeah, anyway. So that's what, and then it gets difficult, doesn't it? Because it's, what do you define a friendship as? Because a lot of the friends I've had over the years have been because of working, and at that time they've literally been some of my best friends, but now I would say they're an acquaintance. So it's difficult, isn't it? Or sometimes even less than acquaintance, but most of the time it is an acquaintance. And it's difficult because I definitely want more friends. I would love to have a more full social life. But I'm also very content with having Kira, and I'm content with our friendship being so drama free and so supportive and caring and fun. Like, we've got a great friendship. Like, she's such like a ride or die, but then also I think it's nice to have I love having loads of different friendship groups. I love having different friendship groups for different things and stuff like that. Like, I love having that. But I'm also in a place now where I don't want to force friendships for the sake of having a better social life. I want friendships to authentically happen. But also, when you're 20, like, how the hell do you meet people? Obviously work, uni, but I've done uni now. And none of the people I met from uni are local. So uni wasn't an option for me. And obviously in the past, that when you were kids, you would just meet people at school because you were forced to be in an environment those people, which is also why arguments and stuff happen, because those people you probably wouldn't be friends with if you weren't pulled in that environment. But I don't think it gives us the skills to go out to people on the street and make friends. Like, I would be terrified. There's been so many times I've seen people on the street and I'm like, I want to be their friend. Like, they look so cool, or I like want to make friends with them. But I look like an absolute crazy woman going up to this random person and like asking to be their friend. What would you define a friendship as? Because I guess there's different friendships for different things. So like, my mum has always said to me, there's a friend for a reason, a season and a lifetime. And I have found that through my life. There's definitely been friends that I've had for a reason. There's definitely been friends that have come and gone. And then you have your lifetime friends, and I think Kira is one of my lifetime friends, and I think there's obviously less of them. But I don't have any season or reason friends at the minute. And I don't know, maybe I should put myself out there more. I guess there can be different definitions of friendship. Like, some friends are like your going out friends and they're like to have fun with, and other friends can be like you go for coffee friends and they're more of a once every few months for a catch up, just because you get on or whatever, have common interests. And then obviously you have friends that maybe you make in hobbies. But what if you don't have, like, you've gone from having quite, like, I used to have quite a lot of friends from different things to like literally being at square one, because all of my work friends that I've made like from York live in York. Like, there's a couple of them that I would definitely go out for coffee with and stuff, but they're like 2 hours away. Can't see them for like do you know what I mean? It just makes it really difficult. And I don't think, it definitely doesn't help that social media romanticizes friendships, because the way social media, it's that thing again, isn't it? Social media making life's a highlight reel. We've spoke about this before, but I think the romanticization of friendships doesn't help, because I think it can make you feel like your friendship isn't I know there's been points where, even with Kira, and like, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, like, I've worried that our friendship isn't quote unquote normal because we don't go out on the weekends. And it's more for me, I'm worried that she thinks I'm boring. But that's because of the way social media makes that friendships in your 20s to look like. It should look like you going out every weekend and getting drunk and making like really feral memories with each other, not just you're two people who really like support each other and love each other and have fun together, just not in that way. And you'd rather just go out for coffee and chill. I almost think that there should be like dating for friendships. Right, hear me out. So, okay, this hasn't really happened to me, but you know, like, if maybe you're out and about and somebody, like a guy or a girl, finds you attractive, they might come up to you and be like, can I have your number? Like, I want to take you on for a drink or whatever. You would never think that that's weird. If you were attracted to them, you'd say yes. If you weren't, you'd be flattered and move on with your day. Why do we not ask people to be friends of us on the street? Right? No, it sounds mental. It sounds absolutely mental. Because like, imagine going up to somebody and being like, can I be your friend? They'd be like, no. Go away, you mental person. Like, it sounds really rogue. It does. But I just feel like, so I did an Instagram poll, right? And I asked, did you struggle to make friends in your 20s? 86% of people said they do. So if all of us are struggling to make friends, why don't we all become friends with each other? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know you're not going to get on with everyone, but if somebody you feel like you like the energy of somebody and you vibe with them, ask them to be your friend. Like, why do we not have a dating app for friends? But then, is it more intimidating to go on like a friendship date than it is a romantic date? Because I think I would find there being more pressure to make friends with someone than there would be to become like in a relationship with somebody. Just because I think with a relationship, you either vibe or you don't. Like, there's either like that sexual vibey connection or there isn't. Whereas with friendships, I guess it's like it naturally happens. But then you could say the same for romantic connection. I don't know. Maybe I should copyright that idea and create something, because I feel like that would be an iconic, like, I don't know. You could do like speed dating but with friendships. This must be a thing. I can't be the first person to think of this. If not, get me on Dragon's Den. Like, I swear to God, I could potentially become a billionaire. I don't know. I know that there's like lots of things like with Facebook groups and stuff like that of like girls who, I'm in the girls who travel group, but I know they've got quite a few. And I know there's Casper Lee's girlfriend, Amber. I know she created, is it Bambi? I think it's Bambi. And that's for like girls meeting girls. But I think that is quite a large platform now, so it's quite intimidating. And I guess there's almost a weird level of judgment, even though we're all going through it, of like, oh, why would I go to something like that? Like, almost like a high school sort of mentality. Well, I know I've definitely felt like that with it, when actually I'm worse off because I'm judging and not going. And there's clearly loads of people that are in this position. Because I also asked, like, what prevents you / makes it difficult to find friends or to make friends? And let me tell you the comments. So, caring too much what people think, anxiety, depression, so you find it difficult to talk to others. Most people already have friends by now. That's a really interesting take, actually. If people are still with like their school group or they've had their friendship group for a really long time, I think there is that thing of you don't want to just come in as like the spare part or like feel like you're intruding on their friendship. I find a lot of people now ends up being friends of like their boyfriend or their girlfriend's friendship group, because I find that one of them has got a friendship group and then they become friends with that. But that scares me slightly, because I would worry that if I got in a relationship now and he had a big friendship group and introduced me to it, I would worry that I'd become friends with all of them and then the relationship would like end, and then I would be left with even less people than before, or I would lose like my friends as well as my boyfriend. And then I wouldn't want to be, I think my thing is I don't want to be reliant on somebody anyway, but I wouldn't want to be reliant my friendships on a relationship. I just think it's really bloody hard. Like, I think social media makes it more difficult, because I think as well I feel like everyone's so competitive in today's day and age that I think I would worry somebody didn't have true intentions. I know a lot of my friendships in the past have been very toxic, with like lots of bitching and just not really being supportive of each other. And I wouldn't want to get into a friendship like that again. So I think that holds me back. Maybe I should just go up to somebody that in the street, when I see somebody that I think I want to be friends with, and experiment and just be like, can we be friends? Can we go for coffee? Oh my God, it makes me feel sick thinking of that. It actually makes me sweat a little bit. But surely, like, if somebody said that to me, I guess it depends. I'm not sure what I would say or how I would react. I'd probably give them my Instagram and instead of my number, so I can check out their Instagram and see how it went. I just feel really scared to like reach out to somebody. I guess it's a fear of rejection. I guess it's the same as reaching out to a guy as it is to girls to be friends with. But I think rejection is worse from girls than it is from guys. I definitely feel more judged by girls than I do guys. And maybe that's from my own personal experience, but I find girls scarier. But then I find everyone scary. I'm a scared little girl. Maybe I should do that. And report back. What do we think? I would love, though, to create, like, a space where, whether it was, like, almost like, you know, you'd have, like, a community centre for kids to go during, like, school holidays. Let's create, like, a community centre for girls to go after work. Where there's, like, a wine bar and, like, frozen yogurt stand, and there's a book corner, like a book nook, and there's like a cinema and all like the fun stuff, and girls can just go there and like meet each other. But then what I think would happen is everyone would just end up with their heads in their phones because everyone's too awkward to talk to each other. I'm not sure. I need to make friends though. I do. I need, like, I can't remember the last time I went out in an evening. Like, I just need a better social life. Because I think it's good for you, isn't it, to have a good social life? Like, I'm always saying, like, oh, I'm too tired. But I know for a fact that if I was out, I'd be having a whale of a time. Like, I would be the life and soul of the party. But it's just getting in the habit of, like, putting yourself out there again. I'm so good at making friends when I'm forced into it, like in a work setting, or like I said, like if I was to go solo traveling, I would be so good at making friends. Like, I'm so good at putting myself out there. It's just in situations where, like, I've never been to like a club on my own or a bar on my own, or if you're at a restaurant, you're not going to go up to someone else's table and be like, yo, let's be friends. So in situations where people potentially make friends, I haven't really been in. It is food for thought though. And it's interesting that so many people struggle now. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it does have anything to do with social media. Because I do feel like a bit like I've lost my chance. Like, because I didn't make the friends at uni. Like, I made friends at uni, but not local friends or friends that I'm going to see really, really regularly. I feel like I've kind of missed my chance, and now my 20s are going to be just waiting to have friends when I find a boyfriend. Oh, that sounds really depressing, doesn't it? Sounds so depressing. Yeah, we're not having that. No, I'm going to do an experiment for the podcast, and I'll let you guys know how it goes, but I'm going to make a friend in a sort of way where I go up to them and say, I love your outfit, or I love your vibe. Do you want my Instagram? Can we be friends? Like, I'm not coming on to you, sorry, but I want to be your friend. They might love it. Who knows? Okay, right, we're going to do that, and I'll let you know how it goes. And this is your sign to be a bit braver, go up to somebody, because I wouldn't be offended if somebody come up to me and was like, I like your vibe, like, I think we'd really get on, I'm not sure why. I would never be offended by that. So why are we so scared? Because I don't know many people that would be bothered by that. And the worst thing that happens is they turn their nose up at you, look you up and down and turn away. And that says more about them than it does about you. I'd rather be friends with you than that person. Do you know what I mean? And if a person's like that, at least it shows you their true colours. Oh my God, wait. I'm starting a revolution. Everybody make friends with somebody on the street. Ask their number. Approach them as if you're approaching a fit guy or whatever, or fit girl, and see where you go. I think gym is apparently a good place to make friends, but gyms scare me, so that's not going to happen. I'm not going to step foot in a gym, I don't think. Anyway, let's do our 3 gratitudes of today. So I am grateful for my new little wicker chair that I'm sitting in now. It's actually really comfortable and I love it so much. If you're on Spotify, you're not going to be able to see it, but I am obsessed. I'm grateful for the food shop being delivered today, because there's nothing better than food shop day. And I'm also grateful for how productive I've been today. I went on a beautiful run this morning. Like, I had runners high, I think, for one of the first times ever, and I was loving it. And one of my hopes of the future is that we can all make a friend from this podcast. From this one that you're listening to right now, my hope is that we all get to make a friend. Thank you so much for watching A Conversation with Erin. With me, Erin, our safe space to have a conversation. And I will see you next week.